Hereditary opens with one of the most unsettling transitions in modern horror. A slow, dreamlike push into a miniature bedroom until the room becomes real. It's Ari Aster telegraphing the entire movie in one shot. This is a world where your life is arranged for you, where free will is an illusion, where someone or something is always watching. And the key to understanding all of it is the miniatures. Annie isn't just a miniature artist for character flavor. Her work is the film's central metaphor. When she recreates moments from her life, her mother's hospice bed, Charlie's room, even traumatic events, she isn't doing it to cope. She's doing it because it's the only space where she has control. In the real world, Annie is powerless. Her mother controlled her. Her guilt controls her. And later, the cult controls everything around her family. But inside the miniature world, every figure is exactly where she puts it. Every piece is positioned by hand, and that mirrors the family's actual situation. Just like Annie arranges her scenes, the cult arranges the Graham's fate, piece by piece. Both forces, Annie and the cult, treat the family like dolls in a display. The miniatures don't just represent control, they represent perspective. Aster repeatedly frames scenes in perfectly symmetrical, dollhouse-like compositions. Wide shots that feel too neat, too clean, too observed. It creates the unmistakable impression of a god POV, not a benevolent one. The characters sit centered, tiny, surrounded by negative space, as if trapped inside a box someone is studying, and that someone becomes clearer as the film unfolds. Paimon's followers, watching from above, engineering every move. The miniatures train us to view the Grahams the same way, not as people in control of their lives, but as pieces on a board. Many of Annie's works are literal foreshadowing. The most infamous example is her recreation of Charlie's death, a moment Peter begs her not to build. It's disturbing, but that's the point. It mirrors the cult's cold, clinical approach to human suffering. The telephone pole with Paimon's symbol carved into it. It appears in miniature form before the scene even happens. The tragedy isn't an accident. It's a scheduled event. Annie thinks she's documenting trauma, but she's really reenacting a fate that was already written. The miniatures aren't memories. They're previews. Annie says she builds the miniatures to neutralize the event, but she's doing the opposite. She's freezing trauma in place, curating it, displaying it, trying to control its narrative because she can't control the real pain. This is how Hereditary treats grief, not as something you process, but as something inherited, shaped, passed down like an heirloom. By miniaturizing her trauma, Annie reduces it to something safe and knowable. But the horror of the film is that the trauma beneath the surface is much bigger than she thinks. She's building a small version of a nightmare that is already consuming her family. Here's the darkest idea in the film. Annie's artistic process mirrors the cult's ritual process. She arranges figures. They arrange people. She reenacts tragedy. They manufacture tragedy. She designs a world where nothing is accidental. They live in a world where nothing is accidental. And that opening shot, the pull into the miniature bedroom, is the reveal of the entire movie. We are entering the cult's model, a space they constructed, a fate already predetermined. When Peter ascends into the treehouse at the end, it feels like the final piece being placed into a display. The miniature world has become reality. The miniatures in Hereditary aren't just props. They're the film's grand metaphor for a life stripped of agency. Annie tries to control her grief by containing it. The cult tries to control destiny by engineering it. And the Grahams, like the tiny figures in Annie's workshop, never have a chance to escape either system. That's the real horror of Hereditary, a world where your fate is built, arranged, and displayed long before you ever realize you're part of the design.